Talked a little bit earlier on about what the Education Secretary, Michael Gove, has been saying this morning about computer training in schools being outdated. Things need to change soon or we'll be left behind. Well, let's talk now to the Chief Executive Officer of a company called Neon Play, based in Cirencester, Ollie Christie. They're an award-winning, growing technology company designing apps for smartphones. Ollie, good morning to you.
Good morning, Chris.
Do you agree with what Michael Gove is saying, or do you take issue with it?
No, I think he's totally right. I think the UK is so behind in terms of what we're teaching children at school. The problem is that within the world of government and education, it's a very slow process to get anything changed. And we get a lot of schools and colleges who come to visit the studio here in Cirencester, and they're coming out of 2 years of college or 3 years of university with not enough actual hard skills to be useful to employers. And so they really need to adapt and change and use industry to help shape these courses, not the education sector.
OK, so where do you get your new starters from? You're a firm that's grown rapidly. Where do you get the skills from?
Well, we're finding actually that the guys who are self-taught, so they may have done college, but actually nearly every developer that I've worked with, and we make games here, we make iPhone games mostly, like Flick Football and Paper Glider versus Gnomes, but we find that the guys who are self-taught are the ones who actually learn more, because they actually come out of college after 3 years and they don't really learn a huge amount. They write a lot of essays, but they don't actually come out with any sort of games to show for their time at college, and that's what really frustrates me. So would you like to see schools getting involved in areas like designing apps at an early age and starting to do the coding and that kind of stuff? Totally, and schools and colleges need to realise that mobile is also the way forward, and apps are the way forward. But I wonder how many colleges in the UK are actually teaching mobile games or mobile apps to their students, because that's where the boom economy is, and that's where the jobs are going to be when they actually leave this summer or next summer. I suppose the worry is that we end up then with a difficulty, because although Britain is up there with the developers and some very successful companies, there's going to be a black hole of skills. There will be, and everyone says why aren't get companies like Twitter or Facebook made in the UK, and it's because they don't really have the skills taught at university. But it is, I would say to guys, teach yourself, get a book about making apps or making games. We use a program called Unity, which is free to download, which people can start to play and make games on, and do it yourself. And I hate to say it, but I would question at the moment whether doing a 3-year course is actually going to benefit them more. They would, to get into industry, to beg, borrow for work experience, I would suggest is the way forward for my children. Interesting. Ollie Christie from Neon Play, based in Cirencester. Thanks for joining us this morning.